Good day to everyone. My name is Kate Reyes Sanchez from BTVTE FSM1A, and I am here to answer the question about the Harvard commencement speech of J.K. Rowling, the author of the children's literature classic, the Harry Potter book series.
1. Why is it important to support your ideas in a speech? Why is it necessary to back up your statements in a speech?
For me, a speech is about making a claim and providing evidence to support your claim. Evidence used should support your claim or thesis and be concise and clear. Supporting material can be thought of as the specific that make your ideas, arguments, assertions, points, or concept real and concrete. Sometimes supporting materials are referred to as the meat on the bones of the outline, but we also like to think of them as pegs you create in the audience's mind to hang the ideas on. Another even more useful idea is to think of them as pillars or support for a bridge. Without this support, the bridge would just be a piece of concrete that would not hold up once cars start to cross it. Similarly, the points and arguments you are making in your speech may not hold up without the material to support what you are saying.
2. What is your main takeaway from J.K. Rowling's speech? Summarize the major points you picked up from J.K. Rowling's speech.
My main takeaway from J.K. Rowling's speech is that through her dual themes of fear and imagination, Rowling echoes the philosophy of the Stoic in her advice to Harvard graduates. Ultimately, this speech is a plea to her audience to avoid the pitfalls of privilege and to use their human capability of imagination to make a life for themselves that really matters. The Stoic philosophers would advocate that we should define our fears and then face them rather than attempting to live a life without fear. In the words of Seneca, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Rowling identified her greatest fear as the fear of failure. She goes on to recount that 7 years after her university graduation she was, by any objective measure, a failure. She found herself divorced, unemployed, a single parent, and quite poor. In other words, her greatest fear became reality. But in this quandary, she found liberty. At her lowest, Rowling had no way of knowing how her story would play out. The success she would achieve at that stage was merely a dream. And yet she had this to say about how failure served her. She said failure meant the stripping away of the essential. I stopped pretending to myself that I was anything other than what I was and began to direct all my energy at the only work that ever mattered to me. Had I ever succeeded at anything else, I might never have found the determination to succeed in the one arena where I felt I truly belonged. I was set free because my greatest fear had been realized and I was still alive.
3. What is the value of imagination according to J.K. Rowling? What does she mean by imagination?
Imagination is not only the uniquely human capacity to envision that which is not and therefore the fount of all invention and innovation. It is arguably most transformative and revelatory capacity. It is the power that enables us to empathize with humans whose experiences we have never shared. We have the power to imagine better. We must use our unique imaginations to create a more humane world. Imagination grants us the power to change the world. A belief that we do not possess the power to take action often causes inaction. Nevertheless, according to Rowling, we have more than we need to make a world a safer, a peaceful, more humane place, our imaginations. So why should we hold back? Like Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Since we possess the unique ability to imagine infinite possibilities, we also possess the ability to make many, if not all, of those dreams into reality. We, the TSU students, must use our privilege, our statuses in society, to, in Rowling's world, raise our voices on behalf of those who have no voice, to identify not only the powerful, but with the powerless.
4. From J.K. Rowling's speech. What 3 techniques or best practices can we learn or apply to our own speeches?
First is pay attention to your delivery. When preparing and delivering a speech, it is easy to focus on your words. Yet how you deliver those words is equally important. Nonverbal skills such as eye contact, facial expressions, body posture, and hand gesture can enhance your speech or undermine it. How can you make sure that your nonverbal communication skills are on point? The answer is practice, practice, and then more practice. Practice your speech until you can deliver it without reading it. Practice using different techniques that allow you to observe and solidify the nonverbal elements of the speech. Then the second one is structure your message. A well-structured speech will help keep your audience engaged and interested. When planning the structure of your speech, think logically about what you want your audience to take away from your speech. What do you want them to remember? Be sure those critical takeaways are stated clearly and repeated often. All other details and information throughout the speech should relate back to your main point. Most speeches have the 3 main parts: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. The last technique is connect with your audience. A good public speaker like J.K. Rowling will start by establishing a positive rapport between herself and her audience. After all, the more your audience likes you, the more they will tune in to what you have to say. And the more your audience understand why your topic is important to you and also to them, the more attentive they will be. Before I will end this video, I want to say to all of you that it is our duty to use this power, coupled with our privilege to make the world a better place. Again, my name is Kate Reyes Sanchez and thank you for watching.